One of the most important general motor patterns that we use every single day of our lives is the squatting motor pattern. We will start that with variations that make it less of a load or reduce range of motion so that it's easily doable by pretty much everyone. And we start with the mechanics. So let's cover those mechanics as quickly as we can here. The squat is a compound motor pattern that uses the ankles, knees, hips, and through the spine. It moves all the way up to the shoulders. Everything's involved really with your squat. The most important thing that you want to give yourself to be successful is a wide base of support. So from our postural position, which is heels under the hips, we're going to go a little bit wider, and we're going to make sure that our weight is distributed at least evenly. Some of us may need to distribute more weight out to the outer edge of the feet to get this started in order to create a nice alignment of the hip to knee to ankle to about the second toe. And so that's what we're looking for from the front, or the slightly angled from the front, is that we don't collapse at the knees and we don't go bow-legged out to the side. From there, let's look at it from the side because it's easier to see the lateral posture of my spine, my shoulders, and exactly where my hips go. When we initiate the squatting pattern, we're going to use our hips and our heels so that we don't wear out our knees. So we always use those two words, hips and heels. We're going to initiate back. If you imagine a red point or a red dot right here on my hip, we would set that dot back behind my lateral midline, which shows my good standing stacked posture. I sit that back through the hinging motion, and I continue on through my knees and hips, traveling back behind me using my hands up in front as a counterbalance and driving those heels and hips then forward, coming back up. So back and forward through the hips more than down and up through the knees. From the front view again, you would see that hip, knee, ankle alignment. Now, if I'm wider and my toes have to go a little bit out, that's okay as long as my knees follow that same angle and I stay in a good hip, knee, ankle alignment there. So hip, knee, ankle alignment is what we look for from the front. Spine in line and good shoulder blade posture, as well as the hips tracking back. Your knees don't want to track too far forward over the toes, and we're going to drive in and out of the hips more than the knees. Those knees get worn out if we tend to go up and down with that hinge joint. But the brain uses the knees because it's a lot easier. So those are your main points for the squat and the mechanics of your squat. Remember to sit back behind you, use your counterbalance, control the descent, and then squeeze to the top. Good job.